First of all, I would like to introduce our speaker, Mr. Soumitra Sen, to the gathering. Mr. Soumitra Sen is a tech lifecycle, startup and entrepreneurship, cybersecurity and product leadership. He is an entrepreneur and experienced executive from enterprise software, cybersecurity, networking, cloud computing engineering background with deep experience in diverse areas of global technology, lifecycle management, such as requirement business case, architecture and specification, design and development, people and organization, project and delivery, global stakeholders, pricing, channels, promotion, launch and go to market, leading to a healthy overall end-to-end technology leadership experience with special interest areas in productization and entrepreneurship. Well, his educational background is he's studied in the Stanford University School of Engineering. He's got a certification of achievement in advanced cyber security in 2020. He has passed out from Indian Institute of Management, IIM, Bangalore, PGSM, MBA, Marketing and Finance in 1998. He has also done his Masters in Indian Institute of Science. He worked as a assistant manager in Cities Corp Software from 91 to 93, Verifore, Hewlett Packard as a project manager in 93 to 2000, in Cisco Systems as a product manager from March 2003 to March 2009, worked as in Scantron Corporation as a director, products and quality engineering from April 2012 to March 2013. Palladian Networks, it's called ETOS. He worked as a vice president engineering from July 2014 to May 2015. He worked in Symphony Telecom Market as a vice president, product development, India site head for the division from July 2015 to March 2016. He worked as a managing director and general manager for NetSurin Technologies from January 2017 to January 2022. He worked as a director, product management in Harman International from May 2022 to May 2023. Right now, he works as a freelancer, advisory role in product life cycle and technology introduction. Welcome you, sir.
Sir, and everybody else for this warm welcome. I mean, it's quite a heartening thing to see that a community is building so many things. I mean, I've heard about this group from 30 years back from Bangalore. I mean, so, okay. So, thank you again, and let's get to the core of the subject.
Do you want us to sit there?
Either way, it is, I mean, wherever you are.
Okay, it's okay. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Good.
Okay.
We'll go down.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. Yeah, watch it because you will not be able to see. Yes. Okay, today we'll spend some time on discussing how cybersecurity affects our life. Okay, and when I say life, I mean not only life as an individual, but life as a business owner, as a professional, as somebody in the society, as somebody responsible for life in general. And I know that this gathering is for people who has business, who are entrepreneurs, who has responsibilities for society and other things. So cybersecurity has a big impact. We don't know sometimes. So we'll just see in the next half an hour to 45 minutes how much we can talk about it, how cybersecurity is getting important. Okay. And my style would be, we'll go through the flow, though we have got 15 minutes at the end for questions and answers, but you feel free. I mean, if you have a question as we go through the flow, just raise it, because it is it is a dialogue kind of thing. So any question anybody has, just feel free. And I represent NIS. This is a organization that is into corporate training, and I have my partner Vasumati sitting over there, and we have got our cards over there. You can just take our card and figure out how we can forge a relation. Having said that, let me go to the next slide. See, when you talk about cyber security, the word itself, the phrase itself has a word called cyber. Cyber means something to do with computer, something to do with digital, something which is, really computer centric. Yes, cyber security is all about computer and computer related things. May not be always computer, but computer related. Most specifically, I would say digital. Okay, the moment you talk about digital world, digital phenomena, the word cyber comes in. It may not always be, computer, but anything digital, anything, new age, typically cyber comes in. And one thing, then the natural question is, cyber security means digital, means I need to have computers in place, I need to have, advanced technology in place, I need to have things in place. Yes, cyber security means there is a IT system, there is a computer system, there is a, electronic system, there is a digital system. And that is what you are protecting, and that is what getting attacked. I mean, everybody who is into business, is into serious things today know that, life without digital doesn't happen. One good thing about COVID is it has taught us how important digital is. Correct? COVID came. When COVID came, we were wondering then the world will stop. But world didn't stop. World moved on. World moved on. And one of the aspects of that journey without much of disturbance was the digital world. We could work remotely. We could work, many things we did from across the globe without even getting out of the home. So that is the power of digital world, and the digital journey accelerated. With digital came the cyber security related issues, because now, you have got so much things in computers, people started attacking it. You may ask, why people attack? People attack for various purposes. It may be political purpose, it may be economic purpose, it may be military purpose. India, Pakistan fought off Sindoor. And many people don't know, a lot of the war happened in cyberspace. Okay? What India did to Pakistan was because of very good intelligence over the computer networks. It was a cyber warfare little bit that India did with Pakistan. And privately I can say there are still attacks going on between. This doesn't come to the media because cyber warfare happens in stealth. Okay? Sometimes you get to know that, American power plant was hacked. Yes, that came to the media. Or maybe, something happened in India as part of cyber warfare. So the moment digital economy comes in, digital infrastructure comes in, digital way of life comes in, cyber security happens. Now, in that context, I need to say that, I keep saying people that, to all fellow Indians, that you are right time, right place. You are right time, right place. This is the country that will grow next 50 years crazily. Last 30 years, if you definitely know last 30 years how it had been compared to, many other countries. India is growing at 6% plus. When I was a student in the 90s, the kind of ambition I had, the kind of things I got exposed to is quite different now, because India, the gap between US and developed countries and India has shrunk. And this shrinking will continue. And inshallah, maybe in 20 years, maybe in 30 years, we will be almost a developed country, we hope. And all of us have a role to play there. India is currently third largest digital economy. Many of my friends who are into startups, I was talking to one CEO of a startup. You heard about Palladian where I worked. Palladian CEO, he sold the company, Rajat Mohanty. So I was talking to him last week. He sold the company, is now in US. So he was telling one interesting thing. He was telling, 30 years back, in India we used to just copy Western software things, electronic things, digital things, because that will come to India after 15 years. India used to lag in the adoption. So you do something in Western, then you come to India. Then he was telling no longer that. it is in India that sometimes we do. At the same time, they do it in US, in Europe. So this is the opportunity. In India, the market is big. Indians are now at par with developed world in many thought process. And I wish that I were 30 years younger. I wish that I were 30 years younger, because this is the India that many of us will grab for next 30, 40 years for your career, for your growth, for your business and prosper. This is a generational opportunity. I'm telling you, this is a generational opportunity, which, So, as we grow in India, the opportunity is there with us. In fact, I thank Mr. Donald J. Trump, because he is putting us, into whatever, that is going on, that tariff will possibly, force us to be more creative, force us to be more, driven to really show that we can do everything. We don't depend on any country. So this is an opportunity for every businessman, every professional, every, somebody who has the dream to just latch on. I'm just telling this very sincerely, not as a sales talk. Just check with your friends who are into business, growing. Next question is, yes, we need to grow in your business. And when you grow, typically digital makes the big difference. You need to invest in technology. These days, the problem of globalization, one problem of globalization is that you are competing with somebody who is not in your city, not in your state, but somewhere else in the world. If you are not competitive in your business globally, chances are you may be whitewashed one fine day. So the benchmark of competency, benchmark of competitiveness is changing to global, not local. These things are happening. These things are happening very quietly. So you as business leaders, of course you understand your competitor is not going to be somebody from Chennai or somebody from, Jamnagar. Maybe from somebody in Europe, somebody definitely from China, somebody from Brazil, who knows. You need to stay competitive. You need to stay, ahead of the competition. You need to be highly productive. Indians have a problem of productivity because of whatever. You need to invest. Invest the moment you talk about, productivity improvement, competitiveness, you invest invariably in technology, because that is the easiest way or the only way to stay ahead of the competition. The moment you invest in technology, a new gadget called computer comes in. Some new gadgets come in, which has got computing power, which has got, other things. And the moment you get all those nice things, the fear of cybersecurity comes. That is the other side of the digital transformation. The moment you are, digitally rich, you need to be digitally protected as well, because somebody will come and all kinds of nuisance will be done. Today only I was reading in the newspaper, you can check, TCS and Cognizant, they are getting sued in US because employees of TCS and Cognizant were behind some attacks in US companies. Imagine somebody, TCS employee, using TCS resource has attacked US companies. US company has sued TCS. TCS is not in the business of attacking another company, but their employee has done it. God forbid any of your stupid somebody does something using your name, where do you land? These things happen. In our vernacular language, there is a saying that, a beggar doesn't have the fear of a thief, because what is there to lose? But a Amir has to worry about all kinds of things. So the moment we become powerful, we become rich, each of your business becomes 4x, 5x, 10x, this will be one of the problem. In fact, I would not say problem, this will be one of your competitive advantage. See, as a businessman, every challenge has two faces. It can be a challenge, it can be an opportunity, because everybody is facing the same. If you are facing the challenge, your competitor is also facing the challenge. If you flip the company around the challenge, you become more competitive and the competition goes. So it is not your problem. The problem is how you take care of the problem. Okay? So we just compiled some questions. It is we are here. I am here to solve a problem. We are all here to solve some problem and do something good in business, in life. Okay? So just let's go through those questions and figure out where we stand. I know many of you have got family business. If your next generation takes over the business, are you preparing them for a digital first world? You want it or not, these days customers expect you to be digitally enabled. Customers expect you to be digitally enabled. The young kids these days, they know only one thing, that is mobile. Irrespective of whatever background, caste, community, region, younger generation is digitally savvy. When you talk about business next gen, it has to be digitally enabled. What will your business look like 10 years from now if you continue the same way? Can you continue the same way? Probably not. You need to rediscover yourself. Every 10-15 years, you need to rediscover your business. Okay? Ajim Premji completely rediscovered Wipro. That is a different story. I mean, not many Wipros will be created, but along the journey, whether Mayas, whether MTR, everybody has rediscovered to stay, in the business. You go to the age-old successful business, the way they have rediscovered, using technology, using mostly digital, amazing. These days, customers expect you to have a digital face. You may do a back-end job, which is manufacturing, which is, horticulture, agriculture, whatever. But your face needs to be, interaction point needs to be digital. They will come to you with a digital expectation. Inevitable, you can't escape it. If your competitor's business goes fully digital, will your current model still be competitive? No, absolutely not. I'm working with a hospital in Calcutta where they are trying to, we all know chatbot. When you go to a website, a chatbot comes up, right? You text something, you type something, it gives. That hospital's owner is a Sindhi gentleman, very forward thinking. He is converting chatbot to voice bot. So he's telling customers need not type. They'll pick up the phone, dial the number, and one Bengali language will speak. He will speak back, all AI driven, voice bot. Okay? 80% of the questions are mamuli questions, repetitive, regular questions. He will get it will be Kannada here, or Tulu, or whatever, your language, that you can customize. It gives a fantastic feeling to the patient. Okay? Back in the same, OT, same doctor, same nurse, but the face is voice bot in the native language. India has got 500 languages. So every language if you do, that is going to be the expectation. This hospital gives a voice bot. I can call them in Kannada and the result was in Kannada. I'll go there. That hospital, I need to wait for 24 hours for somebody to pick up my call from the front office. Competitive difference. Okay. So this is what is going to happen in couple of years. I'm telling you the way things are happening. How comfortable are you in your digital tools like CRMs, AI chatbot? Another thing is happening because of this, lot of movements happening in competitive space and in the industry overall. We are all now working with more partners. 30 years back, you had the business which needed 4 or 5 partners. Your packaging partner, shipping partner, this partner, that partner. Now, the number of partners are plenty. To collect money from your client, you need to go through 4 banks. These, that, all kinds of partners. Those who are in business for 40 years, the number of partners in the total ecosystem has increased. As you increase the partners in the ecosystem, the only connecting link is digital, computer networks. The other side speaks in certain software language, certain these things you need to integrate. You may say that, no, Baba, I am very scared of those things. I will do business on my old way. They will say, thank you. We will do business with somebody else. So you need to change to be part of the business, to part of the ecosystem. like CRMs, customer relationship management, several AI chatbots. So all those things will come and you need to adopt. There is no negotiation. That is the problem. To stay ahead, there is no negotiation. There is only adaptation. How you adopt, how fast you adopt, whether you can innovate on top of that. That is what will keep you going. Nothing else. If your business suddenly gets 10x customer, COVID was a good example. Some businesses flopped, shut the door. Some businesses become 5x overnight, depending on who were lucky, who were unlucky. But the point is, we all think business is continuous. Business comes with disruptions. Again, Sir Donald Trump is creating some disruptions in geopolitics. As you go global, geopolitics will create disruptions. Some war, some this, some that, There may be windfall. There may be potential 5x from a particular region, or a particular segment. Some competition dies. That vacuum who will hold? As a businessman, you need to have capacity to grow. In Bangalore, you go to funding universe. I call it funding universe. There are Bangalore, in every cafe has got 2-3 funders sitting there and having discussion over coffee. The first discussion is scaling. How fast you can scale? If I give you 3x customer, can you scale in 1 month? Today's business is scaling is extremely important. If you can't scale, even banks will hesitate to give you loan, saying that. So if you get 10x customers, your systems, process, are they ready? All these questions will come. As the questions come, cyber security also will come. Are you cyber ready? Are you protected? We'll go through it. Cyber security means so many other things. It is supposedly a mumbo jumbo word. Let me go to the next slide. So these are the questions. I'm just asking, just to see where our growth journey goes. How much your day is spent in routine admin work instead of growing the business? You as a business leader should spend far more time in growing the business, staying ahead of competition, than doing a regular repetitive job. A regular repetitive job should be done by your system, process, trained people. You should not break your head. That is one of the motto. Why I'm saying? Because next 30 years there will be so much of growth in India. This thing will become critical. Some owners are drowned in repetitive things instead of growing the business. All this possible when you automate to a great extent. Digital transformation is there. So, there are so many questions. As a businessman, you can go through it. We'll share the slides also with you. The answer is, we're not going to discuss here. The question is, are we ready for the growth journey? We have all come here to see ourselves grow. In fact, I would say that, I just now told you, you are all in right time, right place in India in 2025. I would say possibly you are in the right state also. Karnataka is one of the most progressive states in India. Take it from me. There are so many other states in India. So grab it. And Bangalore is one of the most respected place, in spite of its infrastructure, worldwide for talent. Any company that comes to India to open the best office, technology company, it is Bangalore. Hardly 350 kilometers away. Use the talent of Bangalore as a competitive advantage of your business. Simple. The way Bangalore can be used by many of the smaller cities of Karnataka to grow, to build competitive advantage, digital competitive advantage is just, waiting to be tapped. So these are the questions. I'm not going to go through it, This is one set of questions to help us in the digital journey. You as a businessman, figure out, I'm sure out of this group, there will be definitely 10 people who will do 10x business in 10 years. 10 years from now, 2035, definitely there will be 10 groups from here who is doing 10x business. I'm quite sure. Question is who those 10 are. Correct? If you believe that you are among those 10x growth people, you will be there. Having said that, I will directly go to cyber security. Cyber security, means protection of your digital assets. Okay, cybersecurity means protection of digital asset. But you know, the interesting thing is cyber attack, all statistics and research shows the best cyber attacks are through human beings. Best cyber attacks are through human beings. This is a paradox. How can cyber attack happen through human being? Because humans are in the center of the entire system. Okay, and humans by nature have got a lot of issues. We trust people, we have sympathy. If somebody comes and cries, you just melt, saying that what is the problem, I'll help you. So humans by nature have got these characteristics. We tend to trust people, we listen to people, we sometimes don't understand what is fake. People exploit, we make human mistakes, error. Galti se ho gaya yaar, kya kare? Human mistakes. Sometimes human the tendency of showing off. I'll tell that I can do that. I'll show. So these are human specialities, and cyber attackers use that. Okay. Keep it in mind. Even if you are best prepared in your company against cyber attack, the weakest link, the most vulnerable is your employee, and it will continue to be because of the human nature. Okay, it is called social engineering. Can't do it. I mean, you have to live with it. This is the speciality of human being. Human beings are born with those qualities, or whatever you call it. You have heard of phishing. You must have heard of phishing. What is phishing? See, when this is phishing in cyber world. In phishing in real world is what? You have a bait, that you put a worm or something and then dip it on the pond or dip it on the river, and the fish doesn't understand it is a bait. It just comes and grabs. The moment it grabs, it gets caught. Phishing, the basic principle of phishing. Here also, you get an SMS, you get an email that you have got an award of 1 crore rupees, just click it and claim it. 5 years back it used to happen, people click it and then all kinds of drama happens, Phishing. Because of our human nature again, we think that we have won a lottery, or we think that something good is waiting for me, or something bad is coming to me, I need to be protected. All human nature. People exploit that to give a bet. You bite the bet, something happens. That something is very personal. Many people have done it and they have suffered. Okay, not getting into it. That is called phishing. Sometimes there may be voice-based phishing. There may be an SMS. There may be an automated call. Anything. Your account is at stake, or I'm calling from State Bank of India, manager's office. Your account is getting hacked. You please press this to protect this thing. Voice-based phishing. The moment voice-based phishing, that is called phishing. There may be SMS-based phishing. Sometimes you're not in computer, but an SMS comes. Again, you press some link, kuch ulta सीधा हो गया. Smishing. So these are actually, phishing is actually QR code based. Sometimes there is a QR code, out of curiosity, you just go there, click, bas, ho gaya. You get directed to some shady place. Phishing. So these are, I'm just put a list of things under social engineering. There is a big list just for awareness, what people do, why people do, how people do. Okay. And I will talk about little bit, what is a good behavior to stay away from this kind of easy nuisance. It's called easy nuisance. There are sophisticated attacks, that's different, but this is easy nuisance, Shoulder surfing. Sometimes, this happens, maybe, you are a businessman, your laptop has got a lot of important data. When you go to your CA's office, you discuss the financial numbers, and somebody wants to see the numbers. So he just, whenever you come in, he just stays very close to you. Over your shoulder, he sees, what is there in the data, because that data is important for him. He will give it to the other competition, saying that, that fellow is doing this. Shoulder surfing happens. In particularly, those who are important, those who work with serious number of data, information. There are people, you will not believe how many people are tracking you. I'm telling you, if the moment you become successful in life, you will know hundreds of people are tracking you. Very eerie thing. I mean, I get messages where I just wonder, am I so famous? Okay, I'm not. But the point is, the moment you become somebody, there are people doing research on you. Shoulder surfing, hoax, spam, all those things we know. Be very careful. Next slide we'll talk about it. Identity fraud. Identity fraud is, I'll just tell you some of my personal story. Recently, my wife bought a property outskirts of Bangalore, gave it for rent. The moment we gave it for rent, we put it in no broker. Lot of calls started coming. Okay, and these calls were from military people. Okay, one person who's told that, no, I'm in Air Force. I want to shift to, I am got an order that, my transfer order to shift to Bangalore. My family will shift to Bangalore. I'll still be in the deployment zone, which is near the border, but my family will shift to Bangalore. And I saw the property in pictures and all that. We loved it. And I'm from Jharkhand. So all that is good, fine, no problem. Yeah. The moment they talk about military people, you have a soft corner. Oh, trustworthy gentleman people. Then natural question is, I asked, show your Aadhaar card or give some identity. Aadhaar card also came, some name, Jharkhand address, Ranchi or something. Now you can trust it. Aadhaar card has come, military people, you typically trust them. Then he told that I want to book by paying the token amount. Good. Then he told token amount will not go from my account because of some military procedure, it will go from my brother-in-law's account. Okay, fine. Now, coincidentally, so many calls came from military people, my wife started getting suspicious, saying that so many military people are getting transferred to Bangalore and they all like my property. This is funny. Then we figured out, then she did some research, Google search, and figured out this is the latest scam. What they do is, the moment a lady gives an ad in the newspaper, they pose like this thing. Then they say that I'll transfer 50,000 as a token advance. They will not transfer. They will do they'll show a wrong screenshot saying I have transferred 50K. Then you say that I didn't get the money. Then the dispute starts. See that how come I have transferred 50K? This is my proof. Then he states that if you talk like this, I'll ask military police to come to your house and all that kind of thing. Okay? Refund my 50K. We didn't go that far. But this is how it is. Identity theft. That fellow is not that Aadhaar card fellow. Aadhaar card fellow, he has stolen the identity. That Aadhaar card fellow is the genuine military fellow because all the military details are there. Regiment is that. This is a fraud. Identity theft. How he got that Aadhaar card, we don't know. So be very careful about your own identity. How people use your identity to do some other crime, you never know. And if the crime is done, suppose that thing happened in our case. We would have gone to the police. We have talked about this fellow only, that this is the Aadhaar card fellow. Police would have gone to his house. Jharkhand police would have gone to his house. He would have been caught. So identity theft is happening. Be very careful. Identity theft is used for a lot of serious crimes. Be careful of your identity. Cybersecurity, same problem, whether you want it or not. Invoice scam, these are many. We can't discuss so many things here. I'll say two additional things here. One is the deep fake. This is the age of AI. In the age of AI, it is very easy to generate something fake. It is called generative AI. In generative AI, you can take a 1-week course, do prompt engineering, you can generate something fake. You can generate so fake that Xi Jinping is shaking hand with somebody saying these things. All kinds of nonsense combination you can do, which is actually not true. Lot of, in social media, even in regular media, things come which is actually not true. These are called deep fakes. They create videos, images, which is not there actually. These are called deep fakes. AI can create it within minutes. These help a lot in reputational damage. If somebody shows that you had a dinner with some lady, which actually you didn't, and leaks it to your wife, gone. They can blackmail you after that, your whole life, saying that, I have that proof that you went to dinner with Miss this. Okay? Happen. Deep fake, very careful. Other is, another thing I'll just tell you, which is part of wishing. I got it, and it happens. My boss's voice was picked up by the attacker and he trained the generative AI model, my boss's voice. The model learnt my boss's voice. Then the model generated an instruction, please release 1 lakh rupees to this payee immediately because he has done us a service which was important. This is a important thing that will not go to our records. Please release 1 lakh for him. If it is coming from your boss's voice, the natural tendency is to believe it. Tomorrow it can be your wife's voice saying that our little one is met with an accident, is in the hospital, you need to pay 50,000 immediately to the doctor account to start the process. In that kind of scenario, when your wife's voice is come, your voicemail message, you don't ask any question, you just do it. AI technology has gone to such a level that anything can be faked. Be very careful. Have a sixth sense that is it fake? Okay, so these are social engineering attacks. Cyber security is a vast subject. I'm not going everywhere. Principal attack is basically these are the. I'll not go there. I think I don't know what is the time. How much time is left?
It's another 10 minutes.
Okay, so these are the typical methods of protection against social engineering. Be aware. Like I am telling you these days today, you may be slightly more aware. If this kind of thing happens to you, be careful. So in cyber security, it always helps to stay aware. In cyber security, typically you need to understand what is going on around. New type of attacks happen because of new technology. Technology is becoming so rapidly changing. New technology comes in, new type of attack happens. Authenticate each user. Somebody is asking you to do something. Maybe your wife or maybe your boss. You ask cross question. Are you this calling? Where are you calling from? The moment you cross question things, I have got all kinds of questions, because whatever. Somebody called me, I think 3-4 years back. He's calling from Delhi police. What happened? Your this thing, that thing, this thing, something. Your mobile number was found with some girl trafficker, and she revealed that you do girl trafficking. The moment it comes from Delhi police, something, you become half worried. What happened? Then you cross question, the other side puts the phone down. Authenticate each user. The moment somebody comes and calls you something weird, you cross question, ask some things, follow standards. If you do password reset, suppose you lost your password in bank system, you call the bank, say that my password is to be reset. What do they say? They say that yes, password is reset in your registered email ID. They will never reveal anything over phone. They follow the standard procedure, which is registered email ID or whatever. So always follow the process. The moment you are in doubt, be very careful, follow the process, ask credential. Okay. In organizations, they classify information. Some information is very top secret that nobody can touch. Some information is not so critical. Some information will be public. So if they classify information, God forbid, somebody has attacked and somebody is leaking the information. If the top secret information is properly protected, chances are it will not go out. So basically, classify and do all that kind of thing. So these are some of the things you can do to, at least be aware of or be protected from social engineering. Social engineering is the thing actually where 60 to 70% of attacks eventually happen. You will hear about zero trust. Zero trust means I don't trust anybody. The moment you interact, a device interacts with a device, somebody interacts with a system, you validate every device, every application, network, data, infrastructure, identity, everything you validate. This is one principles for greater protection, cyber security. Okay, zero trust. Basically, you need to act like a police in cyber security. Police is always, for good thing or bad thing, or their nature is to have doubt. The moment you do something little bit different, police fellow will watch something different. So in today's complicated cyber world, you need to be extremely, extremely careful, because there is no other way. The world is going that direction. And again, no matter how much technology you use, how much protection you use, how much automation you use, human beings will continue to be the weakest link. There are other cyber attacks also. Those are actually sophisticated attacks, data theft, data alteration, ransomware. Ransomware means, some attack happens which locks your database, which locks your, application. Now you can't use it. Your server can't boot. That is called ransomware. Ransomware is a very, very common attack at a high level. We will hear that, ransomware attack happened. Ransomware means just like, ransom, kidnapping. Somebody kidnaps your kid, or somebody puts somebody at gunpoint, ransom, and asks for money. So ransomware is a attack that happens internationally. Many of it doesn't come out. See, one problem of cybersecurity is that a lot of data doesn't come out. Okay, if your business is hit by cybersecurity, would you ever reveal it? No, you will never reveal the data, because your reputation will go for a toss. So in cybersecurity world, many times the actual scenario is not reported for media, for public, but you want to know. The other important thing about cybersecurity that you need to know is the business continuity. The moment you are digitally enabled and you have got lovely pieces of IT network, OT network, all that, if that goes down, can you continue business? Correct? You stand in the queue of a supermarket, okay, and people are scanning your things. If that system is 5 minutes down, can you imagine the kind of crowd that will shout behind you? Okay, might have faced it. You go to any mall, there are 4 guys ahead of you having the billing system goes down, everybody is pissed, and if you wait for 10 minutes still the system is not coming, you just walk out saying that kya yaar. Next time you may go, may not go, because it has got in your mind. Business continuity is extremely important thing the moment you go digital. So that is also part of cyber security, because many cyber attack happens to bring your business down. That is called denial of service attack, DDoS attack, or DOS attack, denial of service attack. Okay, denial of service attack. It happens as part of this thing. See, you need to remember, cyber attack happens because of individual thing. There are some hackers, professional hackers who make money. They do attack. Most sophisticated attack happens through state actors. I'm taking the names because I have been there. The top 2 state actors for any attack worldwide are Russia and China. 60 to 70% of the attack that happens in US and Europe are, and they're pretty sophisticated. The way Chinese and Russians attack, they are all sophisticated economy. Russia has the technology. Russia has technology, the military technology, space technology. China is the new superpower. The way they attack US, the way they attack Europe, doesn't come into the newspaper, but very sophisticated attacks. It's part of the warfare, part of geopolitics that has happened to, now India is also drawn into it. India also gets attacked through Pakistan by China. China uses Pakistan as a proxy to attack us. It will happen also. You become digitally strong, you have a big business, you may be attacked by somebody as part of geopolitics. Will happen. Okay, so you need to make sure your critical resources for business to run, they should never be down. Even if they are down, there is a backup plan. You can quickly get the thing up. I remember, may not be 100% accurate, but I think 4 or 5 years back there was a huge flood in Chennai. Huge flood. A lot of data centers in Chennai got flooded. Computer servers got flooded. A lot of business in Saudi Arabia and Dubai and all those places got affected because their backend server was in Chennai. I don't know what happened, but there was impact. I think there was impact. So these days, depending on the company, they are having some backup plan and all that kind of thing. In Christmas time, in retail shops, in airlines, there'll be huge crowd, and business continuity is super important. And take it from me, China may attack at that time to US. Cyber security. I mean, it will be under the hood. Nobody will know, but there may be something malicious that happened in US I mean, it is both ways. I mean, it is not that China is the only bad fellow. I mean, US also, everybody does the same thing. I'm just giving the name to, give you the flavor of it. India also does to Pakistan. So it is part of geopolitics, part of the warfare, today's warfare. It continuously happens. It is not that happens only in a day. This will happen, and if you are successful, if you are noticeable, you will also be drawn into it. Some of my friends do cyber security for Government of India, and privately they say some of the big corporations, maybe Tata groups, and which are actually India's reputed companies, they are also under attack from, and they say from where it is coming. We can't tell the name, but it comes, it happens. It's part of geopolitics. Pakistan would love to see Tata Group. Yeah. Already, there was a threat that Jamnagar refinery will be blown up. So these are part of, overall thing. Cyber warfare is part of regular warfare, and cyber security is part of, So anyway, cyber security also there can be 10 questions. I'll just share the slides with you guys. So basically you can, go through it, and let me quickly get to I'll not go to the details of it. I'll get to, what is the legislation, what is the best practice, what is the enablement. There is a website. See, the moment you are in cybersecurity world, make sure you know what you are doing. Don't trust others. Any link comes, you need to be sure of yourself that what I am doing is the right thing. Okay. There is the Government of India website where a lot of data is there, a lot of guidelines is there. Follow it. That will help. There are some rules and laws, standards coming in India. Do it. NIST and ISO I have mentioned. NIST is the US based standards agency. They have some standards which people follow worldwide. ISO, you all know, ISO has got, So these are some of the standards. Why important? Because if you are doing business, some of the standards may be needed. If you are talking to a big customer in Malaysia, he or she may ask, what are the standards you follow? Because our systems expect you to follow these standards. So standards are important. Okay. So be careful what you are following, where you are going, what you are reading, what you are doing. Cyber security, the most important two things are what you are doing and what you are sharing, the information. What information you are sharing and what you are doing, these two things are important. You need to be very, very careful. Last slide. Who we are. NIS is actually, it is we have got Vasumati and Dayamurthy here in Bangalore, and many of us are in Bangalore. We are basically a network of friends, and we have got varied kind of experience in industry. You can take us as your partner in digital journey. Okay. Cyber security is big part of digital journey, but digital journey has got many things. We are a part of your digital journey. So we help, it depends on case to case, maybe awareness, maybe training, maybe assessment, maybe compliance, maybe whatever, we can help. And I'm basically, fascinated to see the Bangalore is become one of the 5 global hotspots, of innovation, technology, all those things. Bangalore attracts talent from globe, worldwide. Many Americans and Europeans are also in Bangalore now to help in new age technologies. The kind of work that is happening in Bangalore is mind-boggling. And 350 kilometers away from Bangalore, same state, same people, same everything, same culture. Tap it. Conquer the world. And we are there to help you. See, as an entrepreneur, what drives best beyond a point is to see success. Everybody wants to be associated with a success. After 10 years, I should be, able to say that, out of this group of people, 5 people became famous brands worldwide. And I was part of that journey. That is our, that drives us. Money is fine. Money will happen. The moment, money comes, But that journey, that is what we are looking for. We sincerely want to see another Wipro, may not be that big scale, another Infosys come from here. This place has got the history of creating so many, bankers, so many entrepreneurs, Shettis and Pais and so many other business houses have come from here. Canara Bank and the other bank that merged with it, all came from fantastic entrepreneurship. Everything is here. Grab it. So that's what I had. Cybersecurity was at the center, but the message is, this is the beginning. Feel free to ask any question, get in touch with us. You would love to forge a relation and see where we go together.
Many thanks, but please, if some questions are asked, please.
Absolutely.
Yes. Do any one of you have any questions? Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But one question is that, is our government taking care of the youths, their requirement, their desires, in respect of the changing, what you call, digital space, digital changes?
That's a good question. Rat hole. So no end of discussion. One is the politics, other is religion. You never, get agreed on these two topics. My take is India is quite different now. Okay, the central government is trying something. We can always pass judgment whether it is adequate. Karnataka government is also one of the most progressive government in the state. So given these two combination, you are possibly in the best location in India. See what I mean? See, South India particularly is progressive on many things. The other day, 2 weeks back, I saw the Chandrababu Naidu has taken initiative of Quantum Valley in Andhra Pradesh. Our IT minister in Karnataka also talked about quantum initiative. These are good futuristic initiatives. Not every state is thinking this way. Some states are, thought in some other, are bogged down in some other priorities. So between center, which is possibly much better, in my personal opinion, 15-20 years ago. See, Modi government, all said and done, has put a target that 2047 we want to be developed. That is a target, good target. Now we work backward to see where, how much momentum we need to build to become a fully developed country by 2047, just 22 years later. Okay, at least some vision. Karnataka government is definitely very, progressive government, so you can't get anything better in India, I can tell you. It is not Singapore, may not be like Dubai also, may not be, definitely some other cities in the world. China, of course, included. China is many ways is become a developed country, some of the thought process, but what to do? This is the best you have.
So that's why so many people are trying to leave India. Last year, more than 2 lakh.
That's a good question. I would say,
Because I think it is government, lack of government initiative for the youths. That's what I believe.
it is a political thing. There are many reasons. See,
2 lakh.
exactly. I know. It is disturbing. Good talent. See, it is. I think maybe we'll discuss it offline, but it is something to worry about. Okay, but I'll tell you one more thing. The country having the highest migration of entrepreneurs to US is not India, is not China. Can you guess which country it is? It is France. If developed country like France can't retain their top talent, they go to US. I've seen many, I have worked in HP where my boss's boss was French. So there are some reasons why people go to US. US is still the magnet of latest things, the lifestyle, the kind of opportunities is there. Now it is possibly coming down because of whatever, and I hope that reverse migration happens. Indians come back to India, like you yourself know that many people come back to India and do some things. Cause of concern, but kya kare?
Thank you, Mr. Ibrahim Bandadi. One more question from Nazir.
For softwares.
Yes, see, you need to. Yes, of course. See, you need to see what you are protecting. Accordingly, you need to see. It all depends on your. See, if you have a apartment, you need one kind of security arrangement. If you have a bungalow, you need a security arrangement. So, depending on your hardware asset, digital asset, you need the protection. So protection will vary depending on, so you need to get a consultant who will figure out, your exposure, we call it exposure, your attack surface, and then figure out how to protect it. And one thing you need to remember, nothing is 100%. Nothing is 100%. The whole objective of cybersecurity to make sure that it becomes very costly to breach. It is so costly to breach that the thief will say that, no point, if to steal 1 million, I have to spend 5 million. Okay.
Things which I noticed also. But in daily life, you said how the entrepreneurs and the individual protected from cyber security. Can you just, between the line, you insight?
Two things. One is social engineering. You need to be doubly sure. Okay. Doing a business, definitely there is some unique thing. So you need to protect. There would be many guys who would come to you to understand what you are doing, learn from you. Your competitor, they will do it better. So social engineering is one thing. Second thing, the moment you are using digital, computers, network, software, application, database, make sure you don't compromise with cybersecurity. Okay. These two things will take care of 80 to 90% of the things. Rest 10% is mashallah.
But in the daily life, there are more hackers than the protectors of the cybersecurity. So you agree on this when you presented this?
Yes, happens.
See, most of the, I was in Saudi when a lot of my brothers are here surrounding from NRI. Okay, so once we applied for a exit re-entry visa. So it is, passport is held in the, immigration center. Then the PRO said there is some issues worldwide. But this Saudi guy, he cannot explain this. Then in depth when we go to this subject, then the HR head said the system totally hacked of Saudi immigration. So where it is safety in terms of government or it's entrepreneurs or the individual. So that's what we have to think. So one thing is good, you highlighted the backup security is there.
Yes.
That means manual life is still there. You believe this?
I believe this. See,
Yeah.
ultimately everything is for a human being. Even though people are saying AI will replace human, I personally don't believe so. I believe AI will be AI, humans will be human. You see what I mean? So, happens sometimes, even the best of the system also gets hacked. US power plants came down. A lot of things happened in US also which doesn't come out. Bank transactions. So many things happen. Big company like Microsoft, they found Microsoft, compromised with their software. So, hota hai. Kya kare? That is the dunya.
But more vigilant is better.
Yes. It's offline also. I'll be here. Vasumati is here. So we'll love to.
This is the last one.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm an architect. So as you mentioned, nowadays we are going. Even our buildings are going into automations.
Yes.
So with this automations into our buildings, what kind of threats we can expect?
Plenty. There may be. There can see. For example, I'll give an example today. MyGate or some softwares are there which do the building entry and exit management. If that is hacked, one thief may come in. See, suppose I am not there, my wife is not there, my daughter is there, who is, just knows how to handle. And she is instructed not to open the door unless it is authorized by MyGate. One dangerous person comes through MyGate, masquerading or pretending to be somebody, again, identity theft, can enter my house.
Even if not physical, digitally, what threat we can expect?
There can be many things. See, many things are remotely monitored these days. Okay.
How safe what we are incorporating into our, it's like daily life I'm talking about. Personally.
You need to use your judgment. Certain things are red lines that you don't do that. Don't open the door or don't do these things or don't allow certain things. That has to be red line that you don't cross. If somebody is, taking my voice and calling you to do that, cross check. Dad, where are you now? Just to understand, So these are the things you need to adopt.
Double check.
Double check, triple check. Always, be suspicious.
Yes.
Be suspicious.
We'll conclude this session.
Now we have come to the end of the session. So I would like to present a memento to as a token of appreciation to Mr. Soumitra Sen.